This is it. Try not to cry. So that's it for Toys R Us. That's all she wrote. How will you remember Toys R Us? I'll remember that it is one of the happiest places on earth. As a kid you walked in there and like I said earlier, every day was Christmas. They were toys from every brand, every manufacturer, readily available. Toys are now gonna become a seasonal thing like Christmas decorations and Halloween masks. I guess that's just how it has to be. I know Party City's gonna attempt to put out an annual toy store in their stores and we'll see how that works. I've discussed it on other videos where if that's the case they'll have to put out the big guns. Putting out the stuff that people want to consume right away off the bat is paramount to its success. If Party City puts out their new toy store and it's essentially just all the old Star Wars crap that Toys R Us couldn't sell or stuff they bought real cheap for pennies on the dollar, Yuri failed in your venture. But let's not focus on what's next. Let's just remember Toys R Us as it was. So if you are an adult that grew up and loved Toys R Us as a kid, let me know down in the comments about your favorite Toys R Us memories. Are you sad to see it go? Do you not care? Are you surprised? It turns out that it was agreed that killed Toys R Us. A lot of people that worked for them basically milked the company dry. All the investors of people up at the top, the ones that killed Toys R Us. Not Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars clogged the arteries, but it was something else that killed the brand, the store that was Toys R Us. But I choose not to remember how bad it was at the end. I remember how good it was for all the other times, the countless trips I took there. I remember when I had my first job, one of the first things I ever bought was a wrestling ring with a Hell in a Cell on, and I was 15 years old and I had the money. It was like $60, but I went to Toys R Us to buy something. That was the first place I went once I had the validation of being an adult, in quotations, meaning I worked and I paid for my own stuff. But I'm interested more than anything to hear what you guys have to say, how you remember Toys R Us, and if you continue to collect stuff, how old was Ross's absence affect your collecting habits? Me, I've moved online years ago, but I always had a happy medium between Toys R Us as well as Amazon or other places out there where he could get stuff that wasn't available at Toys R Us, and at the end Toys R Us seemed to start carrying a lot of the exclusive online stuff. The SH Figuarts Lions were available with Toys R Us. Got the Star Wars ones, but the head Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, the WWE, you know, important big brands that people wanted to buy. Toys R Us started getting into the collector market. Your Toys R Us carried all the same stuff that Unfit carried in terms of collectibles, and it was actually cheaper towards Rust than it was FYE. There's a misnomer out there that Toys R Us was the most expensive toy store out there. KB always was more expensive than Toys R Us, and Toys R Us was competitive with other places as well. I remember was as a kid, I want the Millennium Falcon. Someone had it for $5 to $10 cheaper and I called in a price match, so Twitter Us did do that at least in 1996. So as always with World Class Bullshitters, thank you for watching, thank you for giving us your time, and thank you for looking back and reflecting on Toys R Us the way it once. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Share it across all social media. Tell everyone that you're a world-class bullshitter spawn. If you're already a fan and you want to get up early in the morning, enlist a Good Morning Pop Culture. We're live Tuesday through Friday 7:45 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about anything. You guys can send in your questions. It's a lot of fun. It's the highlight in my day. I don't mind getting up at the crack of dawn just to talk about entertainment. You guys make it worth it. I'll be back later in the week with more content here on the channel, and tonight we're having a watch party. As of this recording, I don't know what the film is because you guys haven't finished your voting over on Twitter. So find World Class Bullshitters on Twitter, vote for our poll. Decide the movie you want to watch. It could be Marmaduke, it could be Open Season 2, or it could be Over the Hedge. And you know, if you pick Vacation, you make it a double feature with European Vacation as well. I can't promise anything. All I can do is tell you guys to vote and hang out with us later tonight at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now if it's okay with all of you, I'm gonna go ball up in the corner and cry. Actually, I'm not gonna go wall in the corner and cry. I'm gonna check out my shelf and pick up my favorite thing that was ever acquired from that Toys R Us and remember the good times.